Very nice.
Thank you for the painkiller. This is right up my alley.
Martini, 2 olives.
Beautiful. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yours comes with the souvenirs, was it?
Amazing.
Okay.
That's good.
All right.
Nice.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you very much.
2025
Well,
harvest.
2025.
2025. Year in the books. Cheers.
Here we are with some of my great winemaking friends. We're going to talk 2025 vintage. I mean, every vintage is a little different. Every vintage has its strengths and weaknesses, but this one was pretty unique. And I think hopefully we're going to get to the bottom of what was great, what was awesome, and what you guys are excited about for 2025.
Yeah, thank you, Kate. Good to see you guys, too.
Yeah, good to
It's
see
like
you.
really fun to be out of the winery for once and like sit here and have a
We've been
drink.
there
It's
for a
really
while.
fun.
Back in civilization.
Yes. Great to talk to people.
Yeah.
Are you guys all done?
Pretty much done. I mean, we have all of our reds off of skins. We have all of our whites that are going through malolactic, almost done with malolactic.
Yeah.
We're stirring barrels and trying to get everything wrapped up for the holidays. 2025 was a beautiful, different vintage than we've had in the past couple of years.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about back all the way to 19 through 2025, I mean, everything kind of dealt something a little bit unique.
Yes.
I think for me, wrapping up the 25 vintage, one of the things that was most notable was, the pace of the vintage. There were no jogs. It was like, do nothing, sprint. Do nothing, sprint.
absolutely.
Stop, go, faster.
Yeah, go faster. Exactly. A couple more Sundays than maybe I wanted to work
Yeah.
this
Yes.
year. But
Yes.
Yeah, from a scheduling perspective, it was definitely interrupted,
Yeah.
and like off and on.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, it was really deceiving because, you think in the winery that has an effect on the wines, but the wines turned out so beautiful.
Yeah.
And back to fermentation. Really, one of the great things I think this year was how well the fermentations went.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
really no trouble, lots of no
Surprising.
stuck fermentations, no sluggish. It was really, everything was very healthy. And I think that's definitely one of the hallmarks of the vintage, I think, for me.
yeah, healthy, clean.
Relatively low alcohols for the most part and really good acids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was something that was different. I had to recalibrate in the vineyard because I was seeing bricks levels that were, 2 bricks lower than I would traditionally pick at, but the flavors were
Flavors
there.
were there.
Yeah.
It was long cool vintage, and
Yeah, hang time is something that we do not get in Calistoga very frequently.
A little
So that-
warmer.
yeah, a little bit warmer up there.
Yeah.
So 2025, that's great for us. Like we could manage when to pick, nice and slow, and with that, like the colors from that hang time have been really exceptional in 2025.
As you said, the wines seem to be very complete right off the bat. There's not a lot of intervention. I think in this cool vintage, we have a little bit different character.
Yeah.
I think what we sometimes have, or at least here at Black Stallion, we're a little further south in Calistoga, so we're a little cooler climatically. And so we were worried. I was worried that they would show the wines, the Cabernet especially, would show some green character.
Yeah.
But it was really, really full, lots of fruit showing and really very little green. And the color, I think, on the reds is absolutely off the charts. So
Yeah,
I'm really
agreed.
excited about this vintage.
What's the standout for you? Was there a vineyard or a varietal?
We have a couple different clones of Cabernet on the estate, and I think the ones that ripened earlier really were the showcase this year, and I think they kind of imbalanced really the vintage. Like again, lots of color, lots of bright fruit, but also still like some elegant tannins there
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
well.
I had to extract a little bit more this year. I think, looking back at 21, dialed extraction way back,
Yeah.
tons of tannin, tons of color. I was a little more gentle in previous years, but this year I did quite a bit of pump over, a couple de la stage. It was just, I really needed to work the wines a bit more to get the extraction out, but it was there.
yeah, similar things. With the whites, I was also really excited, about just the natural acidity that we got.
Acid for days.
Acid is a memorable
Yeah.
mark of
know.
2025
Yeah.
for me.
100%.
Yeah.
And it brings so much brightness to the
Yeah.
palate too.
Yeah.
It's really great, and that refreshness.
Did you guys all notice anything unique? Because for us, I found that our acid was kind of tied up early in the fruit, and then about mid-fermentation, it was liberated, which is unique for us. Like normally you see it as normal chemistry numbers as fruit,
in South Napa, we kind of had two harvests. So we were able to get, a lot of, the early ripeners, the whites and the thin skin varieties, obviously all the sparkling, but we got all of that, before that first round of rains.
Yeah. Even though it was very cool, like we still had those kind of moderate 80-degree days well into October, and that really helped after those little sprinklings to help dry things out and keep things really clean.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I think the drama all took place in the vineyard and in the wine, and that's where everything was set up. I mean, it kind of changed the logistics of the harvest because you kind of have to really rush to get things in at the right window.
Yeah, a few like second guess moments where I'm looking at numbers, I'm making a picking decision, and I'm like, okay, let's go.
To me, it also came down to canopy health.
Yeah.
I mean, I really saw a lot of really great canopies this year. Healthy leaves, strong canopies, and really being able to ripen that fruit, and then opening that up. As we saw, the vintage kind of trending towards the cooler side and not getting those cumulative days. Kind of really opening up the fruit and really getting it to the finish line was key. So there's a lot of work that went in before.
Yeah, you got to start with a canopy, otherwise you're in trouble.
For us, we have a few older blocks that are cane pruned, and they can be hit or miss in challenging years. But this year, I found like the cane prune is really shown.
Yeah, pretty even.
Really even.
Yeah.
Good canopies, but
a slow growing season. I with that cool growing season, without any big spikes in there. Just a really even growth. Yeah, especially in cane pruned vineyards, which can be difficult to grow evenly.
I think it's a cooler, more elegant vintage, and the grapes are really, or the wines will really show a lot of fruit character and a lot of elegance. And I'm really excited about this vintage. Besides, all the all the struggles we've had, and every vintage seems to have a struggle.
100%.
It's like
Our job can't be easy.
Exactly. It's like
I have to lament about
Yeah.
something.
What do we complain about?
you really have to time it right. You have to find the right window for each block, for each vintage, for each vineyard, and to get the quality into the winery.
Yeah.
And I think it's like also a testament to the valley. We've dealt with a lot of different challenges over the years, and for us to execute, an amazing vintage with really tight windows, I think it says a lot about our, resilience, and then, we can navigate Mother Nature and come out on the other side with, beautiful wines.
Right.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail on the head for me for 2025 is that the elegance is there. And even though maybe it was a little harder to extract and we had to wait for those tannins to come around, like I think 2024, the tannins are so rustic and they're just now in barrel starting to resolve for me. But just coming off skins, like I feel like the 2025s are already so elegant.
Yeah. The 25s are probably some of the best Chardonnays we've made.
Yeah.
And I mean, Paul Meyer, we're pretty serious about our Chardonnay. And I think these wines are going to be highly ageable, which you don't often get out of California Chardonnay. But with that amount of acid and just flavor intensity, I'm really excited about Chardonnay for 25.
Yeah, and just having just naturally beautiful numbers. I mean, it's a delicate and elegant vintage, which Napa is not always known for, and we got it in spades, and I think it's very special. And
I agree. I think the whites are phenomenal, and to me the reds, they are very complete early on in their lives, but also just the amount of color and how much color saturation we have in our fermenters and in our drain tanks and our barrels right now. But to me, color is such a bellwether for other flavors.
Totally.
It really shows kind of like the depth of that vintage, and I think that's really great. And having that color without having the green that we were all worried about in this cool harvest, in this cool vintage. There's no green.
It's a pretty
and
green.
I'm not sure where it went. Yes.
Yeah, it's not like
It's
bell
like-
peppery.
Right.
It's
There's
like
very
the
little
nice
Brussels
earthy,
sprouts in it.
Yeah.
and some of that color we got really early, and we're like, where is this coming from? Okay, we'll take it. We'll take it. It's it colored up so quickly in the fermenter.
And from our younger vines too, they really were like showstoppers with how they performed. And surprising, like we've been on a kind of 20-year replanting cycle, planning for the future, and some of these are like second crop, and the colors just and tannins are performing like 10, 15-year-old vines, which is really exciting for potential for the future.
I think it's awesome you're on a 20-year. I mean, I think people forget about that. This is the vintage, this is what just happened, but you're thinking 20 years out.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's pretty phenomenal.
We've been around for 130 years, so we're trying to be around for the next 130 years. That's the plan.
Yeah, that is the plan. What are you guys most looking forward to drinking from this vintage?
I'm partial to the whites. We're also making a lot more sparkling wine now, and I know it takes a lot more time to make sparkling wine, so I'll need to be very patient about that.
I'm most excited about of some of our red blends to come around because we have some really exciting red blends in our portfolio of wines that we're making, but I think each variety is so distinctly pretty this year in different ways. We have some great Merlot and some really fantastic Malbec. I think this is the best Malbec we've had from our estate this year. So the Bordeaux red blends is actually what I'm really looking forward to.
Yeah, I think they're going to be great.
I'm kind of with you on the whites right now. I think the whites in 24
You have
and
no
25.
patience, you
I
guys.
I know
know.
patience. I know no patience.
Sorry, go ahead. Keep on interrupting.
I just love Chenin Blanc. So we planted some Chenin Blanc a couple of years ago as a part of a research vineyard to study for climate change. Then we had some of the coolest vintages we've ever had in Napa to follow, which is awesome. But we planted some Chenin Blanc, pulling inspiration from South Africa. And it's our third vintage making it. And each year, as the vines are getting older, it's just getting better and better. And kind of like you said with the Chardonnay, it's so tasty right now. And I'm looking forward to seeing that come around in the next few months.
Chenin Blanc. That sounds great. When do you bottle that?
In late August, girl.
Right before harvest.
Yeah.
Torture.
Next year we're gonna have it.
Yeah, exactly.
We have this one. We make 150 cases of a Paulmeyer Sauvignon Blanc, Paulmeyer tier, and this year the intensity of the Sauvignon Blanc character on the site. I mean, the berries were so tiny, and they were just little bombs of flavor. Yeah, and every time I taste those barrels, I'm like, this is gonna be. I wish we had a little bit more, but I'm excited about
That's
that wine.
exciting.
Yeah. Some of the the floral characters I think in the whites were just explosive this year.
Yeah.
And we're just starting to see it. I mean, some of the whites that are going through malolactic and just starting to SO2 things now. It's like, oh wow, these are really floral.
Yeah. Who bottles first? Who has to dive back into the hell that is bottling first?
Ooh, gosh, I think it's probably me. We're gonna get ready to tirage bottle the sparkling.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right,
definitely.
so that's I think second week of January is we're getting back into that.
No
That's
vacation.
early.
Well, there's
You
some
need to work
vacation
on a
in there.
final
There's some
blend already.
vacation.
That's scary.
You have a busy winter ahead of you.
Oh yeah, well it's good. The sparkling, the Carnera sparkling is fun and it spreads out the work. Hopefully I can take a little bit of time though.
I'm like the opposite of you. We are holding things until basically right before harvest. So whites right before harvest, and then the Chenin Blanc and Tokai Friulano will be released really quickly in that fall shipment. But our reds will hang on and for at least 18 months in barrel. Try to I feel like they come around really beautifully after that kind of 16-month mark. And so trying to hold on as long as possible without cluttering up the cellars too much.
Yeah.
Until I need the barrels again and the tank space. Yeah.
I mean, we're doing a little bit of both too. I mean, we have some early whites and a rosé that we're bottling, I think, the first week in February right now. So we're not far behind you.
Yeah.
Getting some Sauvignon Blanc, and we have a great rosé. And those will be released later on in the summer, like late spring, summer. But for the majority of what we make is cab. And we are kind of on a similar schedule than you said, like 18 months in barrel. That is not going to change when these wines come to the market, because we're still going to hold them back for 9 months to a year or so after bottling before starting to release them.
Yeah.
But that's kind of so 2020. When is that? 2027?
I know.
Bottling in 2027, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll do Sauv Blanc about the same timeline, February, March. And then I'll sit down and do cellar blends in July, August for the reds. And I'll physically put them together. And then we'll start to kind of think about how those tannins look for the rest of the barrel age.
Yep.
But we'll be back bottling those. So like vintage +2 in May.
Yeah.
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 Okay, so who's got a crazy harvest story?
It's not a crazy story, and I don't want to. No, we were just joking about interns. I mean,
Yeah.
I was really lucky. We had the best interns ever this year at Black Stallion. Those two young kids, they're like, you get to see how old you are because one of them was like the age of my son and knew my son and was roommate of him. And they just come to the winery with so much enthusiasm, and like it gives you really like, look into the future, how the next generation of folks are coming along, and lots of knowledge, lots of excitement. It was really, really fun to have them. To me, that was almost like the best part of Harvest was the team that we had at the winery, which was really fun. It's not like a crazy story, but I mean, it's really, really
We
rewarding.
actually had like the best team we've ever had in 2025 as well. They just always had a smile on their face and always wanted to come to work and learn, and it honestly makes Harvest so much easier when you have the good team.
I mean, I had to break the news of a Sunday harvest a couple times, and we really do try and give people, Sunday off, or at least run a skeleton crew. And you've got the right team when you say, okay, I think we're working Sunday. Does anybody want to volunteer to be on that? And the whole team raises their hands. And you're like,
that's
okay, great. You're like, let's go.
Yeah, there was some big Sunday work days, but everyone understood, okay, this needs to happen before the rain.
We're gonna get it done.
Or this must happen, and for the whole team to be like, okay, I understand, we care. Everyone's invested, and then everyone, at this time of the year is looking back and saying, wow,
Sense of
God, we did that,
accomplishment.
sense of accomplishment and ownership of the vintage. So
It's one of my
rewarding.
favorite things about the wine community is just like that sense of accomplishment after, but how everyone comes together to help, and certainly having friends and neighbors that you can call and hear about how things are going in the south part of the valley versus the north. And I think 2025 was a good year for relying on community and seeing what everyone else is doing, because it was a different vintage than others.
Yeah.
And I will stop complaining about the younger generation. I always do
No, it's
usually.
okay.
But as I said, we had a great young team there this year,
Yeah.
which was really fun.
I like watching the interns when they're excited about what they're learning and excited about being there, interact with the cellar guy who's got, 30 years experience. I think that is the coolest
Priceless.
interaction.
It is absolutely
Yeah.
priceless.
Yeah,
That's
it's great. And they learn a lot quick, to hopefully develop some respect real quick.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not.
It's
gonna be a
allowed
tough
to make
harvest.
mistakes.
Yeah. Well, guys, this was really fun. I'm so excited to taste your wines. It was so great to hear the stories about 25 vintage. What a phenomenal vintage we've had. Yeah, thanks for being here.
I can't wait to taste everyone's wines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
One for the books.
Great to see you guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
2025.
Cheers. Congrats.